Hello guys, in this tutorial I'm going to show you how to make typical deadmau5 style breakdown with like arps and shit and pretty long chord progression that is not like a basic chord progression. Obviously saw waves, LFO goes to cutoff, soft clipper, but just a bit of soft clipping. Detune on both of them and a lot of voices so that the chords sound nice and like spacey and shit. And that's it in Serum. Nothing really crazy out here. Really important part of the sound is obviously the ARP itself, like the MIDI device. So I use the up down, this thing here, rate 116, gate 97%. Okay, so keep in mind that this up, down, down, up, it makes the chord ARP in different ways. So I highly recommend checking out like all of them pretty much. Yeah, then there is this little EQ, boosting some mids, compressor. Yeah, you need compressor for these kind of sounds, these chord progressions, because I'm opening up this filter cutoff, so the compressor makes it all sound like almost the same level, because it would be like too dynamic without the compressor, I guess. And then the last thing is this imager, cutting stereo image from the lows, boosting from 1K to 7K, and then reducing the very highs, though there are not that much highs, obviously. Yeah, pay attention to this correlation meter. It's pretty important, I guess. Okay, and now when it comes to reverb and delay, I use Sense. Keep in mind that I automate this Sense, so there's not that much reverb in the beginning, then there's more reverb, then there's less reverb. So, the effects change as the track progresses, The other layer is this pad. Super wide. Basic pad. Just playing the same thing as the ARP. Here's a Serum patch. Slow wave. This Juno thing. Bit more detuning. Yeah, soft clipper again and cutting some highs. Also pay attention to the attack on your pads. Pads should slowly fade in, okay? Maybe not all the time, but yeah, in this particular sound it is really cool. And then there is this reese bass, which is volume automation. Yeah, 2 saw waves, bit of detuning, separate sub for this particular sound. Yeah, no effects, just EQ'd out the lows on the saw waves, and the sine wave is playing the actual sub. And there's another EQ which cuts the highs, and there is compressor. Pay attention to the chord progression, because if you want that deadmau5 feeling, don't play just the basic voicings of chord progressions. Like, for example, this is G minor. But you can play like this with A sharp and octave higher. becomes way more interesting in this kind of sounds. And then at the end of the chord progression, though the F sharp isn't actually in the scale, I added it to kind of, add some different vibe at the end, because, this progression is super easy, but when you add that like extra note from other scale, other key, then suddenly you have that different feeling at the end. It's like mysterious and shit, And then I come back to F. Pretty cool. And also pay attention, this is like 16 bars, and then there's this random 4-bar thing with these added notes. So yeah, not your standard club song, I guess, because if the DJ plays it, it's all fucked. But it's more interesting than the basic house track, I guess, and basic chord progression. And yeah, that's it, guys. Then when you're done with this breakdown, when you drop the beat, this exact same sound just plays again and then again and again. But the cutoff is super low. And obviously you add sidechain and shit. Okay, see you guys in the next video. Thank you so much for watching. See you guys.